A child calls Prince Harry Dad in front of Meghan. His entire family stood speechless. Wait, did this kid just call Prince Harry Dad? It's a sunny Tuesday afternoon in Montecito, California. Prince Harry and Meghan are hosting their annual charity garden party for underprivileged children from the local community center. The air is filled with laughter, the smell of fresh cookies, and the sound of children playing on the manicured lawn of their $14 million mansion. But then, something happens that stops everyone in their tracks. 8-year-old Marcus Thompson, a shy kid with worn-out sneakers and a hand-me-down Superman t-shirt, suddenly runs up to Prince Harry, throws his arms around his legs, and shouts loud enough for the entire party to hear, "Dad, look what I made for you." The silence that follows is deafening. Meghan freezes mid-conversation with a donor. The other children stop playing. The charity workers exchange confused glances. Even the catering staff pause their serving to stare. Marcus holds up a crumpled piece of construction paper with a crayon drawing of 2 stick figures holding hands. One has red hair and a crown. The other is much smaller with curly black hair. But here's where it gets really interesting. Instead of correcting the boy, instead of creating an awkward moment that would embarrass this innocent child, Prince Harry does something that leaves everyone absolutely speechless. He kneels down to Marcus's eye level, his voice gentle but clear enough for nearby guests to hear. "This is the most beautiful drawing I've ever received, buddy. Tell me about it." Marcus beams, pointing to the figures. "That's you and that's me. We're best friends, just like dads and sons are supposed to be." Now you might be wondering, how did we get here? How does a random 8-year-old from a community center think Prince Harry is his father? Here's the backstory that will absolutely blow your mind. 3 months earlier, Marcus had been at his lowest point. His real father had walked out when he was 4. His mother, Sarah, was working 3 jobs just to keep their tiny apartment. Marcus was acting out in school, getting into fights, failing his classes. The teachers didn't know what to do with him. That's when the Montecito Community Center started their mentorship program, and Prince Harry quietly signed up to volunteer. No cameras, no press releases, no royal fanfare, just a man wanting to help kids who reminded him of his own struggles growing up without a father figure. Every Tuesday for 12 weeks, Harry would show up at the community center. Not as Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, just as Harry, a guy who listened to Marcus talk about his favorite superhero movies, helped him with homework, and taught him how to throw a proper punch on a boxing bag instead of at other kids. Marcus had never asked about Harry's last name, never questioned why this kind man with the fancy car seemed different from other volunteers. In his 8-year-old mind, Harry was simply the first adult male who had ever consistently shown up for him. But back to that garden party moment. As Harry examines the drawing, Meghan slowly approaches. The tension in the air is thick enough to cut with a knife. What is she going to say? How is she going to react to this child claiming her husband as his father? "Marcus," Meghan says softly, crouching down beside Harry. "Can you tell me more about this amazing artwork?" Marcus launches into an excited explanation. "Well, Harry always wears fancy clothes like a prince, so I gave him a crown. And see, we're holding hands because he taught me that real men aren't afraid to show they care about people." The guests are watching this unfold like it's the most captivating movie they've ever seen. Then Meghan does something that makes several people actually gasp out loud. She pulls out her phone and says to Marcus, "This drawing is so special, I think we need to take a picture of you and Harry holding it together. Would that be okay?" Marcus nods enthusiastically. Harry positions himself next to the boy, both of them holding the crumpled masterpiece. But wait, it gets even more incredible. As Meghan is taking the photo, Marcus suddenly looks serious and tugs on Harry's sleeve. "Harry," he whispers loud enough for everyone to hear, "I know you're not really my dad. My mom told me my real dad didn't want to stay with us." The emotional weight of this moment hits everyone like a freight train. Marcus continues, "But you're the closest thing to a dad I've ever had. Is it okay if I pretend sometimes? Now, I need you to understand something about Prince Harry. This is a man who lost his own mother at 12 years old. A man who struggled with the absence of parental guidance during his most crucial developmental years. A man who has spoken openly about feeling abandoned and searching for father figures throughout his youth." Harry's response to Marcus leaves everyone in tears. "Marcus, you don't need to pretend anything. Family isn't just about biology. Family is about people who show up for each other, who care about each other, and who help each other become better. By that definition," Harry pauses, his voice thick with emotion, "you've been part of my family since the day we met." The garden party has now become completely silent except for the sound of people trying not to cry. But then Marcus asks the question that changes everything. "Does that mean I can keep calling you Dad sometimes? Just between us?" Harry looks at Meghan. Meghan looks at Harry. The unspoken conversation between them lasts maybe 3 seconds, but feels like an eternity to everyone watching. Finally, Harry turns back to Marcus. "I would be honored if you called me Dad, buddy. Absolutely honored." What happens next is something nobody expected. Marcus suddenly turns to address the entire garden party, his 8-year-old voice carrying across the lawn. "Everyone, this is my dad, Harry. He's not my biology dad, but he's my heart dad. And heart dads are even better because they choose to love you." The applause that erupts is unlike anything you've ever heard. Grown adults are openly weeping. Meghan is hugging both Harry and Marcus. Other children from the community center start running over, wanting to be part of this incredible moment. But here's the twist that makes this story absolutely legendary. Sarah Thompson, Marcus's mother, has been watching this entire interaction from across the lawn. She slowly walks over, and everyone expects her to be upset, to maybe feel like her role as Marcus's parent is being diminished. Instead, she approaches Harry and says, "Your Royal Highness, I need to thank you. 3 months ago, my son was angry, failing school, and getting into fights. Today he brought home straight A's and told his teacher that his dad Harry taught him that smart guys use their words, not their fists." She pauses, wiping away tears. "I don't care what the tabloids say about you. I don't care about any royal drama. You saved my son. You gave him something I couldn't give him on my own, a father figure who shows him what good men look like." The emotional impact of this moment is so powerful that several guests have to step away to compose themselves. But wait, there's still more to this incredible story. Harry makes an announcement that shocks everyone. "Marcus, buddy, I have a question for you. How would you feel about having a standing playdate every Tuesday, not just at the community center, but here at our house?" Meghan and I have been talking about starting a weekly program for kids who might benefit from having additional adult mentors in their lives. Marcus's reaction is pure, unfiltered joy. He starts jumping up and down, then suddenly stops and gets serious again. "But Dad Harry, won't people think it's weird that you're helping kids who aren't really your kids?" Harry's response silences the entire garden party. "Marcus, some of the most important people in my life aren't related to me by blood. Some of the people who have hurt me the most are family. Real love, real family, real fatherhood. It's about choice. It's about showing up. It's about consistency. Biology doesn't make you a father. Being there does." He continues, "And if anyone has a problem with me choosing to be a father figure to kids who need one, then they don't understand what family really means." The story could end here, and it would already be incredible. But there's one final twist that makes this absolutely unforgettable. 6 months later, Marcus Thompson walked across the stage at his elementary school graduation as valedictorian of his class. Sitting in the front row were his mother Sarah, his heart dad Harry, and Meghan, who had become like a bonus mom to him. During his valedictorian speech, 8-year-old Marcus said something that got picked up by news outlets around the world. "Sometimes family isn't about who you're born to. Sometimes family is about who chooses to love you, even when they don't have to. My dad Harry taught me that the strongest people aren't the ones with the most power. They're the ones who use whatever power they have to lift other people up." The audience gave him a standing ovation that lasted 5 full minutes. But here's what makes this story truly viral-worthy. That garden party moment, it was never supposed to be public. There were no cameras, no press releases, no royal photographers. The only reason we know about it is because one of the charity donors was so moved by what she witnessed that she shared the story on social media, and it spread like wildfire. The drawing that Marcus made, Harry had it professionally framed, and it hangs in his home office, right next to photos of his own children. And Marcus? He's now part of an unofficial network of kids who have found father figures through Harry's quiet mentorship program. They call themselves Harry's Heroes, children who learned that real strength comes from kindness, that real men show up for people who need them, and that family is something you build, not just something you're born into. The most incredible part of this entire story is what it reveals about true character. In a world obsessed with royal drama and tabloid headlines, Prince Harry was quietly, consistently showing up for kids who needed him. No fanfare, no publicity, just pure human kindness. When that child called him Dad in front of everyone, Harry had a choice. He could have gently corrected the boy, maintained proper boundaries, avoided any potential awkwardness or misunderstanding. Instead, he chose love. He chose to embrace the sacred responsibility of being a father figure to a child who desperately needed one. And in that moment, Prince Harry proved something that no royal title could ever demonstrate, that the greatest nobility comes not from bloodlines or crowns, but from the courage to love children who aren't yours, to be present for people who have been abandoned, and to use your privilege not for personal gain, but to build other people up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what true royalty looks like. What do you think? Should more people in positions of privilege follow Harry's example? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible real-life stories that will restore your faith in humanity.